What's good, YouTube, and welcome to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're here with another deck list, deck profile, deck update, whatever you like to call it. And this is our Gunkan Suship deck for August 2025, sorry. So we have done a list on this deck before, but I thought we'd bring it back. I've gotten a couple improvements for it and, teching out some new ideas. So we'll start off with the Gunkan Suship Shari Red, because he's just a beast. They all are aqua monsters, that are sushi. That's what the deck is, but they're also like ships. So, sushi, ship, combining into Juan. But it is, this card's name becomes Gunkan Suship Shari, well in the hand, deck, graveyard, or on the field. You can only use the following effect of Gunkan Suship Shari Red once per turn. You can reveal one other Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand, and special summon this card from your hand. Then you can apply this effect. Special summon one Gunkan monster from your deck, except Gunkan Suship Shari, but negate its effects, if any. Then special summon from your deck one Xyz monster that mentions the special summon monster's name, using that monster in this card as material. So, obviously, it pops off very well, and this is an Xyz focused deck, so that's where it's going to go. XYZ monster, Xyz, however you like to say it. Oh, flinging them. And we have 3 of those in the deck, if I didn't mention that. Next, we have just the normal monster, Gunkan Suship Shari, the one that, this one pretends to be, I guess. I won't read his flavor text, because it is one of the longest in the game, but you can go ahead and pause that, or Google it if you want. But he's a pretty beefy boy, and he goes into those main plays of the extra deck monsters, which we'll get there, of course. But since he is a normal monster, he does work with some different tech as well. Next, we got the Gunkan Suship Shirao, however you like to say it. If you control a Gunkan Suship Shari, so one of our 2 boys here, the red or normal, because, the red becomes the normal, or an Xyz monster that has a Gunkan Suship Shari as material, you can special summon this card from your hand. And during your main phase, you can special summon one Gunkan monster from your hand, except Shirao. Then take any number of Gunkan Suship Shari from your deck or graveyard and place them on the top of your deck in any order. So, lots of sauce there, and recycling power, and of course, once again, these all kind of fit into the, big kind of plating up extra deck pieces. Next, we got 3 of the Gunkan Suship Uni. We're basically running 3 of all the basics, and it is a level 5 Aqua. You can reveal one other Gunkan card in your hand, and special summon this card from your hand, then apply the following effects based on the revealed card. If it's a Shari, you can special summon the revealed monster. Other, place the revealed card on the bottom of the deck. You can target one Gunkan monster you control, and change its level to 4 or 5, then you can add one Gunkan Suship Shari from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effective Gunkan Suship Uni once per turn. So, of course, you got a lot of sauce with this, with the Shari itself, but you can change things to level 4 and 5, which helps out a lot, of course, with other extra deck monsters integrating into the deck, but as well as just their plays. Like I said, we'll get there. Next, we have 3 of the Gunkan Suship Akura, Aqua as well. If you control the Shari, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon one Akura once per turn this way. And during your main phase, you can excavate the top 3 cards from your deck, and if you do, you can either add to your hand or special summon one excavated Gunkan Suship Shari. Also, shuffle the rest into your deck. You can only use this effect of Gunkan Suship Shari, or Akura, once per turn. So, they have such great power to just keep recycling, bringing each other out, powering off into those Xyz. And then we have some basic non-Gunkan Suship kind of Xyz sauce that helps out very much with the deck. Here we have Star Drawing. Obviously not an Aqua monster, but we aren't playing into that aspect too much. But it is, if this card is used for an Xyz summon, you can treat it as a level 5 monster, An Xyz monster that was summoned using this card on the field as material gains this effect. If it is Xyz summoned, draw 1 card. So it is a bit of a play extender. It does work with, getting up to level 5, so you can go into that, as well as just, you could use it for those level 4s as well. Same with our next little piece here, something you could take up to 3, or, take down to 2 and, work with star drawing, try out different stuff. But it is, if you have, this is our perform h.a.t trigger, and we have 2 of them. If 2 or more monsters on the field, you can if 2 or more monsters are on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, and when a card or effect is activated that would inflict damage to you, quick effect, you can place 1 Perform H counter on this card, max 3, then make that effect damage you took 0. When the 3rd Perform H counter is placed on this card, its attack and defense become 3,300. So, you could get some potential beat stickness, and it is kind of a defensive play against maybe, like a chain burn deck or something like that, or just a burn deck in general. But it is a nice piece to bring out as a level 4. But there's a lot of stuff you could trade out for that. Moving to the spells. And of course, if there's anything you think I missed in this deck along the way, feel free to leave it in the comments, or just any ideas in general. I'm down to test out different stuff. Gunkan Suship, catch of the day. Continuous spell card. Once per turn, you can reveal 1 Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand. Place 1 counter on this card. And if you do, reveal 1 Gunkan Xyz monster from your extra deck. And your opponent declares 1 Gunkan monster's card name. 1 monster's card name, except Gunkan Suship Shari that is mentioned on any Gunkan Xyz monster. Then you can add that declared card from your deck to your hand. If you cannot add, shuffle this card into your deck. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, your opponent pays exactly 500 life points for each counter on this card. So some weird kind of, not really burn damage, but like pay damage. So that it is a weird kind of sauce there. But of course, it's working to just spam out more stuff. To be honest, I'll have this card out a lot and kind of forget about it. So if you can maximize it and remember popping off, I'd say maybe train up in Master Duel so you get to kind of know those effects. Could be a good card. Like I said, we have 3 of those. And next, we have 3 Gunkan Suship Yard Seaside Supper Spot. This is your field spell. Once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkan monster, even during the damage step, you can place 1 Gunkan card from your deck on top of your deck. And once per turn, if a Gunkan monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, activate this effect. Your opponent pays life points exactly equal to that monster's defense in your graveyard. Then you can apply this effect. Special summon 1 Gunkan Suship Shari from your hand, then special summon 1 Gunkan Xyz monster from your extra deck by using that card you control as material. So this is a great way to just keep spamming out stuff and kind of go off on some stupid chains. You can get some weird kind of combos off, especially with like the other Gunkan Suship cards in the deck. Next, we're trying out some Unexpected Die. We got 2 of these. It is if you control no monsters, special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from the deck. So of course we'd want to maybe get into these our first turn, so we can pop off and get that Shari on the field, or possibly just an extra Shari, because, the more the merrier. Next, we have a double summon, maybe to just pop off a bit more. I find sometimes you'll have some extra monster sauce in your hand that you maybe can't go into, so we're trying that out. Pot of Avarice, a very beautiful card in this deck, because you'll just get so many monsters in the grave so quick. And of course, you can use this on your Xyz monsters, so it's a beautiful little sauce. Target 5 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 5 into the deck, then draw 2 cards. Great, recycling power, continuing power. Monster Reborn, nothing to say. Harpy's Feather Duster, great removal power. Something the deck is a little bit lacking in. Moving to the traps, we got 3 Gunkan Suship Daily Special. When you activate this card, you can also reveal 1 Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand. Reveal 3 Gunkan monsters from your deck. Your opponent chooses one of them for you to add to your hand. Also shuffle the rest into your deck. If you revealed Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand, at activation, you can choose you can choose the card to add to your hand instead of your opponent choosing. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card, then target 3 Gunkan monsters in your graveyard and shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. So kind of a tinier Pot of Avarice effect. But great for, continuing on and just getting some wonky plays off. I find the more I play with this deck, the more weird stuff you can kind of pop off with and get some crazier combos. And I think it truly has some secret sauce in there that you can tap into. Next, we threw in a Drowning Mirror Force, just some non-targeting, not really removal, but you know what I mean. Put them in the deck, get them off the field. Next, we got a Back to the Front. Same idea as Monster Reborn, just so we can maybe, bring it in Xyz, pop off with its effect, and then go into something else maybe. Call the Haunted, same idea. Next, we still have some of the little essence left from before. We have a Tiki Curse. Special summon this card as an effect monster. I won't go into the specifics too hard, but level 4 is all we're really focused about. And while this card is an effect monster, if another trap card that is a monster battles an opponent's monster, after damage calculation, destroy that opponent's monster. Not really important. It's more the level 4, but we're kind of trying to work out if these are decent plays or not. Same thing with Swamp Mirror. I won't go into too hard about what he is and what he does, but level 4 is what you need to focus on. And that wraps up the main deck. We'll now move to the extra deck. Truly wacky plays, and this is where you can kind of see where it all comes together. The Gunkan Suship Shiryu class carrier. We're running 3 of these. It is rank 4 and 2 level 4 monsters here. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can apply these effects in sequence based on the materials used. And you can only use the effect of Gunkan Suship Shiryu class carrier once per turn. If there's a Shari, you draw 1 card. If there's a Gunkan Suship Shiryu, add 1 Gunkan spell/trap card from your deck to your hand. And while a face-up card is in a field zone, Gunkan monsters you control, special summon from the extra deck cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and gain attack equal to their defense, which usually is pretty tiny, but hey, it's a little bit of a bonus. And there's some extra sauce that if you'd seen previously that you can kind of work in with that. But these work great for if you're really trying to spam out. Of course, you could go Shari and Star Drawing into this. So then you're drawing 2 cards. You know what I mean? You can kind of pop off in many different ways with that one. Moving to the Gunkan Suship Akira class Dreadnought. 2 level 4 monsters. If this card is XYZ summoned, you can only apply these effects in sequence based on the materials used. And so same thing as before, basically, and once per turn. Shari, draw 1 card. That's basically what he's going to be doing all the time. And Gunkan Suship Akira, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. But once per turn, when your Gunkan monster special summon from the extra deck inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. So that's another little pop off, and you'll see where that even comes in harder with the next card. We got the Uni Superclass Dreadnought. Beautiful little card here. If this card is XZ summoned, you can apply these effects in sequence based on the materials, of course, and once per turn. The Shari, draw 1 card, and the Uni, this card gains the ability to attack directly. Once per turn during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Gunkan monsters you control special summon from the extra deck and negate their effects. So, some dirty little negation station power, but of course, if you're going to work it with the Akira class, you get both of these out. You can start to attack directly and, get the effect of destroying something with that. So you can start to get some weird synchronicity going where they really pop off. You get a fleet of, you know, a Dreadnought super super Gunkan Suship power, you know what I mean? Next, we just threw in a Castell, of course, decent little destruction power removal, I guess. Next, we have 2 Tornado Dragons. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, then target one spell trap card on the field, destroy it. So if you really need to go into one of these, you can. Pretty basic sauce, but it is what it is. You know, it's a good way to extend off of what we got a little bit. Next, we threw in a Defender of the Labyrinth, 2 normal monsters. Just kind of some extra sauce, you know, something that fit in. A real fun kind of weird one here is Puzzlemino, the Drop and Deleter. 2 monsters with different levels. If a monster is special summoned face up to a zone this card points to, while you control this monster, during the damage step, you can declare a level from 1 to 8. That monster becomes that level into the end of the turn. And you can target 2 monsters with the same level from each field and destroy them. So decent little sauce there. But that pretty much wraps up the deck. You see what the point is. You know, you spam out those Gunkan Suship monsters, and then you can start to spam out those extra deck monsters and really go ham. Of course, like I said before, if there's any improvements you want to see in this deck, let me know, or if you have any ideas. I know a different way I could kind of take it is, of course, focusing that direct attack sauce and just trying to spam that out specifically and, you know, work with maybe different direct attack sauce that might fit in. Of course, I could try and maybe focus more in terms of the aqua side of things and see how, you know, that goes. But there is a lot of different ways to take the deck. This is just one of many. So let me know if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know when future content's coming out. And make sure to check out my other videos. You know, I make DIY Yu-Gi-Oh projects of various types. You know, stuff you can use in-game or not. You know, top 10s here and there. Of course, deck lists, deck profiles, weird pack openings, normal pack openings. We do it all here. And live streams and possible, you know, gameplay of like Master Duel and other games coming soon. So yeah, make sure you check all that stuff out. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Peace.